we are down to the final Erangel match of the day. Flight lights are off. Keep your reading till later once the seatbelt signs are off, because we have our 12th match in place here for the final stage, day 2 of the SEA Games.
Again, not the most favorable flight path coming from the bottom side of SMB all the way up to the northern side of Lubovka. Now, those who are at a hospital shooting range, Zarki, not the best situation to be in, but again, if the circle does drop within the range of the flight path, great. It'll be a great situation for all those teams. But we've seen situations where the circle just goes completely the opposite way. Also can be a problem. So in my opinion though, if the circle goes completely the opposite way, vehicles and rotations will come first, in my opinion, for me. Because you want to be able to get into the circle first, get an area really, really quickly, preferably an area where you can loot before you get to the high ground, so that you don't have to worry about the great migration happening toward the maybe, I don't know, 3rd to 4th circle later. But again, there's a reason why I'm a caster, not a pro player, so I might just be limited on how exactly these players think and execute their takes.
Well, I can tell you one thing, it's not such a bad idea in theory. You kind of want to book your way into the circle, but that strategy usually pans out.
Oh no!
And you were talking about a curveball. Here they go again. Georgia Pole Hospital, Gatka Mountains, all these inaccessible to some of these players. But again, to dive off, but hold on a sec. Do we get a kill here? Malaysia trying to roll KE over, but that stunt right there. That was the way of the dragon. There we go. He learned that one from Bruce Lee. I'm pretty sure, Micah. You're feeling ashamed of yourself.
It was a jump and a punch. The greatest jukes of all time. There should be a documentary on this one day. The greatest jukes you've seen in PUBG Mobile. Kaya.
True. No, but again, back to my thoughts, right? Like, what you said is correct. That's usually the game plan here when you get in off circle within a map. But for Myanmar, you can do that because things are very far apart. If you try to make rotations here, you get shot down. In fact, take a look at Laos already. Come in contact with the likes of Indonesia. Yami gets knocked down. Lapar to fall on with. This is soon, and your number 1 ace is already losing 2 members on the get-go. Lizzie. Oh, guess that one. Was that a wall bang? You shot through the zinc.
Oh, man. The worst outcome from Laos. The worst outcome for Indonesia, honestly. You can tell that it's so very soon, as soon as they drop the R together, because every single player in that area did not have the best weapons possible. It was a handgun. It was a long-range rifle. And they were just trying to make it work at this point. Unlucky from Indonesia, but at least they do get Ponbit back online. And one more player left for Laos. I'm not sure where his other teammate is. Horza does have at least a nade, has a pretty decent weapon to work with. Ponbit's gonna skedaddle out of here. He's too low. He doesn't have any more heals. But Satar, because he doesn't have a vehicle, will be running to a Ponbit. Sprays out. Horza a little bit too overzealous there. Could have been a pick, honestly. Satar saying, I too have a vehicle, and I am out of here. See you later.
Forza peaked a little bit too soon there. If he had peaked a little bit longer, he could have caught out Satar. What a worse way to go. You know, that would set the narrative up for so much suspense. Because if your number 1 team stopped accumulating points at drop point, then Malaysia can inch the distance even closer to actually getting the number 1 position. This lead, although 5 chicken dinners, slowly dwindles away for Indonesia.
Yeah, Yuhai. He wants to try and bring this back for the team. They're so close. If I was Malaysia 1 right now, almost tasting the number 1 spot by my tongue, by my lips, I would be really excited. For Cambodia 2, 11th spot, not too far away, honestly, from 8th place when you think about it. They want to catch up with their sister team if possible as well. But because of the circle on the other side, we're seeing a change in pace on how quickly everyone is moving, how quickly everyone is taking space. full control of Pochinki for Cambodia too, and I think they're very pleased about this. So much weaponry, so much utilities you can get. They can take their time, and it's not too far away from the circle, to be honest.
We'll have to see how many teams can find their ways from the eastern side, because last week, Shaq, it's a huge saturation that's happening there. Entry would be from the east to the south. I'm not sure if someone would make the rotation from the northern end, but hold my thought here because Timor Leste already losing one member to Romeo boy, lover boy here from Myanmar, nameless. Will have to push against two. If he can make it out of this as a one-man army, then maybe he would etch his name for himself upon thee, but he will remain unnamed as he go down here, leaving only Dizzy and Umbo to play on. Dizzy from the far side, not in an angle to pretty much help his teammates. Timor Leste is as good as over.
Oh, what a shot. Honestly, this is the best situation for Myanmar. One, Dizzy gone down as well. Gives them so much space to work with. And unfortunately, only one elimination. But for Myanmar, I think that's the great way. I mean, they lose one for the price of 4. I'll take it. You know, when you go to the flea markets here in Malaysia or Southeast Asia, you're like, do you have any free gifts? Do I get one free item? That's exactly what they got for that. For Thailand, I think there was a lot of over-committance for Thailand there. I mean, I think you and I had this discussion earlier. Why they decided to push that way. Was it a last-ditch effort? Was it desperation? Was it overconfidence? Was it a miscommunication? And I think for them, making that mistake, it probably hurts because they were so very close. And I think this is the same question I have for Malaysia at the same time, right? Like, you know this team as one of the powerhouses of Thailand. You know this team as being very good in terms of takes and how they play. But because of the lack of information, it's been quite difficult for them to play the way that they usually do.
Yeah, that is telling. Or it's either that or they're just getting sloppy in a lot of these engagement, I think. They're so used to going in, running, and gunning. Right now, I think that they might have tried the same shenanigans as they did previously, but maybe some of these players within Southeast Asia has learned to handle that one much better. And so they just don't seem like the biggest threat within the scene anymore. They've been stagnant while the rest of the competitions have, I dare say, leveled up.
Nice terrain held by Malaysia 2 here. We haven't really seen much of that great migration just yet. I mean, even though the flight path was skewed toward the right, it wasn't truly far away if you think about it. It wasn't like the flight path was south and the circle was full north or anything like that. It's still very much within the area of players. If they wanted to walk and don't have vehicles, it's still very much possible. But Indonesia won this time in a bit of a pickle there. What happened there? I saw that nade bounce. Oh, was it a nade? Smoke. Yeah. But circle will be ping-ponging up toward the northern side here. I'm kind of hoping for a Georgia Ball circle. We haven't seen that quite yet. It's very fun to see a Georgia Ball circle because it has buildings for urban warfare, CQC. It also has a little bit of a bridge, which means that there are going to be bridge trolls. I know that you love the changes to the bridge, especially when they announced it a few months back about the top side and the bottom side of the bridge. I know I rejoiced at that change because it makes it a little bit more easy for players to be able to kind of like skip through the bridge. But in a lot of situations, it's still the standard play because it's rare that we see anyone playing at the bottom side because it's usually players running around with the vehicles. You can't access the bottom side with vehicles.
That's true. It creates a layer of challenges. It makes it more possible for teams to try and get past bridge trolls, right? Like, sometimes you don't want to pay the price of crossing the bridge, and that, with those new updates, that gives you a fighting chance to make it over. And sometimes we've seen teams make it successfully through, but man, look at this. Are they playing go-kart or Mario Kart? Because Vietnam just passes each other against Malaysia, who had a great run previously. Would be ashamed to go down this early, though. You high under gunfire, Micah and Damn Good already out for the counts.
Are you kidding me?
was supposed to be for them to climb on and soldier through, but the entirety of Malaysia down at 0 eliminations, and it is Vietnam team number 1 who will overtake them in the process. Logan awkwardly stares from a distance, decides, let's not go this way instead.
I'm just questioning that hit, honestly, because you want to play aggressive, but you're not able to get inside quickly. And it feels like they weren't aware that other teams were close by. If the outcome was them not able to take that building, if Vietnam weren't able to knock them out, Thailand would have. So it felt like a very lose-lose situation for the Malaysia team. And this is what I talked about in terms of patience. Sometimes the wait and see method can work very well for them, but it felt like as they hit the final map of the day, they just wanted to try and see how aggressive they can go, how many points they can get. But it's all right though for Malaysia 1. They are quite ahead of the curve, and they do have another 6 maps to play, so it's not the end of the world for them, because I think the mindset from Malaysia has been pretty good, especially when I've interviewed them before. I said, when you guys go out with 0, but you guys have a pop-up moment, like what's going through your mind? And they said, it's okay. The mindset that we have is, it's okay, there's other maps, just go next. And I'm liking that. It's a nice little reset, and the no pressure moving into the next map is kind of nice to see. Nice little reset of the mind.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I'm a bit emotional, so because they were so close. You see, he was so close. Like Malaysia could have easily said, "Ha ha! I got 20 points this game. Now we're really just 10 points behind the number 1 spot," and then it creates a lot of anticipation. Right now, Vietnam is taking it and running away with it. First and second spot. Actually, no. First still remains onto Indonesia, but it's the second spot right now. Vietnam. And Vietnam number 2 also could look to realistically close the gap against Malaysia in this single round alone.
Yeah, I was trying to say, I mean, I think as a manager, you've seen these players actually, firsthand how they play, how they calm behind the scenes. So, I mean, for you, it must be kind of like, you must have that frustration as well, and feeling helpless because you're not able to do more for your team, right? Regardless of hold it, God, Beer just now was stalking the Vietnam players, moving over to this compound where the Indonesian team has taken over. Teaser goes down, actually, and Beer's so very low. And that nade, timing! Unfortunately, the second one does clip him. Beer not going to be able to run away very far. Got Tuni all alone alongside Logan. They're very, very separated. It's going to be hard for them to play together at all. Batuni just hiding for his life right now. He only has 2 bandages left as Logan. At least a little bit more in terms of utilities, but without teammates, it might just be a problem in itself. Smokes out. Gives a little bit of space for him to move around the area. Teaser gets a nice reset. At least 2 of the players can play alone. Teaser does take a little bit more damage from Rosemary. Rosemary has been very, very aggressive in terms of that push-up. Potato as well, and Red Face taking that compound where God Tuni is inside. Unfortunately, they're not able to help him. So what God Tuni is trying to do here is play in this corner. He didn't spot him out. They spray out. Unfortunately, he whiffs. Wasn't able to get the quick knockdown. Headshot not happening. God Tuni out of the game already as Vavel takes that point away from Thailand.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. Teaser is in, which means Mela was swapped out. Does that mean that, they're having a little bit of a disagreement in the back end? Well, I don't know. But unfortunate for God Tuni that he wanted to spray onto one member, but then another one just crossed his crosshair and took the second brunt of the damage, unable to, unload a full clip onto that single member. Cannot take him down, and so that was a perfect place nade if I might see one myself. That feels almost up there with the NBA, and they're about to throw another one in. Logan will have to find a different place to find shelter as they slowly flush them out like pesticides, dealing with these little pests called Thailand team number 2. But Teaser though makes the advancement forward. He has the DBS in hand. And one false move, but does not get the clip on. Now Logan, he's about to panic. He's all by himself. Will toss down the Molotovs to even trap himself in at this rate. But they're coming up as 4 surely. And he gets one. The Frankie they're coming in. Vietnam, it looks like they're joining in a party to maybe pick up some of the pieces that were left down. Thailand out in 14th, 0 eliminations.
Ooh, that was painful. Zvavel also makes that Uzi look really good when you think about it. You hear shots coming in here from the area of Malaysia too, but they haven't moved a single bit. Look at how stacked this area is with so many different teams and bodies. Everyone is just renting a real primacy area of their own. I love the fact that Raribies is just so very confident to play his own in the front line, giving his teammates not only so much information, but also to be able to play as the front liner to get that first hit. Honda making it work, making it rain from the top side with all the grenades he has. However, he is depleted soon, but Victoria does find Rosemary a nice headshot to knock him down. A little bit of smokes as well, allows him to move away from one spot to the next, and Laos, smelling that something might not be right, goes for the reposition. A DBS as well from Honda, and they say, okay, they're not close by, so perhaps I can still keep playing the grenade game, but they only have one left, and I'm not sure if it's very, very wise of them to use everything right now, but Vietnam is slowly taking up the space near the containers. Two in the back line, Frankie and Vitkoi is going to be trying to play the long-range fight, providing support, but it's a maze out here. You have no clue where the Laos players are, and on top of that, the DBSs, ouch, you don't want to be caught there.
Look at Laos just hiding inside containers. They're like they're, you know, illegally make it in here, smuggled through by a bunch of containers, and Vietnam playing police, just finding for that culprit. Let's see who jumps onto who first. Honda, he's a bit paranoid. He's anxious. He's got his DBS, and he's holding his breath in silence. Yeah, he could get one, but if they swing in as two, then that would be pretty detrimental. However, with a DBS, it does two shots.
Yeah.
2 rounds of shots, and so if it clips, if the second one clips, then he might be able to get 2 people in one go. We'll see how this turns out. Smoke has been deployed. Meanwhile, we're looking at Frankie.
Not a big fan of how the positioning of Laos here. Oh, they do know where he is at least. The smoke's probably a telltale situation. I'm not sure they're gonna check here.
Oh no!
Gonna try and find by one Honda inside alone. He does get one. He gets the reload too. The question is, he does. Oh my God, Honda! What a play! His 2 teammates are not gonna be going in for the move, and Porza just swings out and just takes it all away. And Honda probably just finally breathing a sigh of relief. It worked out so well in their favor.
Oh, we gave him the outcomes and possibilities, the slimmest chance for him to get 2, and he actually did it. This guy. Patience played out perfectly for the Japanese car here. Honda making things work. My God. Now that hesitation, Vietnam bit themselves in the back. If they went in full-fledged, they probably could have gotten him, but to be fair, they were going in with no info, so they didn't want to risk. A little bit of hesitation is expected there, but it's
probably
the one that paid the price.
Yeah, probably got a heart attack of their life. Go inside and suddenly you're blown to smithereens. For the Philippines, this area all in their control as Vietnam 2 tries to get inside of the circle. They're so very close, but it's so hard to get in. Look at how many angles they have to clear. Look at how many different ways they have to go. And even if they try to force their way in with a vehicle, they're gonna be blown up for sure, because the sheer amount of bullets coming their way.
Meanwhile, Cambodia spots Myanmar trying to get down from the foot of the hills. The top, ironically, gets him at the bottom instead. Romeo boy. Oh, that was an awkward nade. Or smokes that went to the back end here. He's taking so much. It's actually his own nade. All these mistakes, we're seeing it time and time again. The hours are making them sloppy, just as we are. A little bit with our memory. With me missing out that win a chicken dinner by Myanmar. But here they are, under gunfire right now. Can they make us proud again?
Oh, man. What on earth is happening? Oh man. Regardless, Moscardo and Kanla still very much alive inside of the compound. little bit of a consolation prize at least, as Myanmar won all the way outside in the open. Actually, you really got to give them props, because even though there's no space for them, they're okay with making this open area their home.
You know what's entertaining? That member there from Philippines over the rock, he's positioned there as a flank. They're literally sandwiching Myanmar, but because of that grenade, he can only watch from a distance.
Yeah, what on?
We move on.
Yeah, Laporza got a pick there. Now, there we go. Finally, Myanmar makes the first move. Mascardo goes down. Looking at Indonesia too this time, they haven't had the best of the last 3 maps. And this time around, Joseph tries to go up to the high ground and Jumper immediately takes that moment. A golden opportunity takes him out of the way. And Myanmar on a killing spree now. That chicken dinner, as though launching their ego up high, their confidence rather, and it's working so well in their favor. Now for Indonesia too this time, how dominating they have been earlier, getting those 3 chicken dinners in a row, and on top of that, the amount of frags they've gotten. And this time around, they lost 2 players so very early, they're not able to execute the aggressive plays that they usually want to, especially without their player like Yummy. Gosu goes down, DBS play, huge. Marcelo already for 2. And he doesn't seem to be stopping quite yet. Nice killing spree from the Philippines. Finally signs up left in this country. Regardless, Barrow from the other side. Jump shots all around. Nasty to deal with, honestly. I wonder how many DBSs they have total on their team at this point.
Really, when you're fighting in close quarter combat within this container, I cannot choose a better gun. That right there sounds like hell if I've ever been there and back. I hear it echoing through these metallic walls. The sound of the DBS just, slugging and unloading. It's a scary sound, and Vietnam just cannot get the end of it. Already Vietnam 1 losing 2 members with a DBS, and now Philippines walking in, storming up against the entirety of Vietnam 2 with DBSs as well.
Shots from Nangs as well, that's fine. Marnot. Myanmar, despite the good killing spree, finally the numbers are written down. Kanlas, as well as another Myanmar player, a 1-on-1 in this little compound. Nice nade to come through, projectile, and he runs for his life. Not sure if he's aware where it's coming from. And because how open the side is, that nade gets him. You can see how many shots are just coming through, and Kanlas finally goes down. Thanks to Rosello. Very aggressive Philippines. And this time around for Myanmar, they bring in the hurt. They spray to Laos. Laos not able to get inside of circle at all. Those smokes as well. Not giving them any space. Yes, they can work around the circle, but not inside. And Myanmar are saying, it's alright. Even though we don't have strength in numbers, we can try and go down with a bit of a frag. They don't have any right now. At least can go down for 2 or 3. It'll be really good, but Zimbo does get shot out from the inside. Frankie as well. The nade comes out. Vikoy playing inside of smoke. Smoke criminal. Call this man. Tini does get a reset at the very least. No one to pick up Zimbo. And oh my god, that nade, where did that come from? And they are just going to quickly choke them down from so many different angles. Tini, finally end of the line for him as Nangs tries to make something happen. Throws out a nade, Zimbo's finally out. Nangs all alone here. What can he do? Does find Vikoy at the very least. It's not him that finds him. It's a Laos player all the way on the other side. Another one. He throws it out. Frankie tries to go for the pickup here. He wants to make it rain. How many nades does he have is the question. How much more can he throw inside? Does he get it? Does. A bit of damage, but not enough to deter them. They do get the reset.
They push though. Honda's in. An eye for an eye. He took out members from Laos, and now Honda's right next to them. Vikoy, he's under the guys. He does not know, although they rub shoulders with each other within the smoke. It all seems the same when you're doing it within the dark here. And now Honda realizes, that ain't my brother. I don't know this guy. He smells a little bit different. And now Vikoy will try to run in for the back end. Has to be careful though. Nangs, he is positioned in place, but I'm not sure how he's going to get some sort of an entry within this hangar. At least for the time being, Molotovs to hold them back. Nangs might have to shoot his own brethren should push comes to shove, but there we go. A nade to end one more members right there. Frankie has to go in and play altruistic, but it is Porza who gets shot in the back end. Nangs to continue his pursuit here. Honda doubles back, not daring to commit. It seems like Laos, they're working together to take down Vietnam, but they're also working together to give Vietnam the space to pick each other up.
Circle ping-ponging to the northern side this time. So those for the southern side, good luck trying to get inside. Container area full control by Indonesia as well. Nings. It's a very long drawn-out fight. Another nade to come through here. He does have 3 more. In terms of resources, he seems very fine. Whoa, the car! We don't want to see a repeat of yesterday, sir! Not again. He is quite low, though. As Vikoi does eat that damage, trades out to the DBS. Another nade. Last one. Let's see where he goes. 1, 2, 3. Does he get the lob in? Goes on outside. No, it doesn't. But they do know where he is. This movement from Vietnam is making it really hard, and the team on the outside here. Oh my god, Honda does finally go down. No! The hero finally ended. Porza as well, found by Cambodia too. Very sad ending for our DBS master today.
It was just long drawn. At that point, I was even thinking, was it even worth it to maintain that fight? But hey, good news. Up on the overalls, right now, Vietnam 1 secured a triple-digit scoring points. Only 1 match away now from closing the gap with Indonesia 2. Cambodia gets a pick off here, but also one of the members within this outpost will find his way on the knees. Vietnam might have to look to make a push in here. But Vikoi gets shot down in the process. Puff Puff gets a great one with his scope, but I'm not sure if he can get any more, seeing as though they're well behind opaque doors here. Frankie would have to let him be, leave him alone, take the casualties and live on to champion it for the likes of Vietnam.
Ah, man. Surprised that Indonesia is able to survive this long. A little bit more passive than usual, but I don't think anyone has noticed them quite yet in the area. I don't think Indonesia 1 wants to take that risk. CQC can be very scary. Here we go, it's actually as I said so. Immediately Rossello. He's nasty with that, just as scary as Honda! No! And oh my god, he barely survives that Rossello! What on earth, man? He has 6 picks and all with the DBS! He loves this area. He loves the fact that we're having this CQC urban warfare.
Why is DBS even a thing? This is why people say keep it back into the crate. It's just a little bit overpowered at this point. Rossello's
jump shots are so
army.
ew! I need 10 showers after seeing that. I mean, it works, but ew!
Oh, it's not over just yet. I hope Cambodia now tries to make a push, and they all also have got 2 DBS within the entire roster. Saves the one with the shotgun. Let the rest move on forward to get the info. That's the new game plan. That's the meta patch here. Both with some suppressive fire against Ichi. Itchy feeling a little bit itchy here to try and maybe make the peak. He's got Molotovs in such a close quarter situation that Molotov, but from the back end doesn't even get the shot here because West don't give them the chance, and Devon is just going to sheer instinct at this point, but they are lining up single file trying to feed things up. West will eventually go down and they are going to grieve him, but they have to be careful because Ichi is still there. That timing of the peak. Oh, Cambodia will live to tell the tale for another day.
Honestly, look at how they're peaking. It's always together, but it's far enough to not allow the DBS to get 2 of them at the same time. Nice swing, nice timing, but they're being very careful. Look at Rossello. He's being very quiet here. Rossello, despite being the final man of the life, 6 eliminations in the bag. And 10 in total for Philippines 1. The best outcome you can ask for as we hit the 6 team mark left. Regardless, I think in this situation, it's really hard to gauge where everyone is. You don't want to peek dry. You want to make sure you have some utils to really zone them out. But when everyone is just jumping out like Jack in the Boxes, it's a little bit anxiety-inducing. It's hard to really mark where exactly everyone's going to swing out from in case someone were to pincer you from different ends of the containers. Indonesia now finally, they've been spotted out. You can see all the fire coming through. Rossello does find to the top. As he's rotating into the circle, Rossello stuck between the blue zone as well as the containers. He did hear sounds in that area. He doesn't know where exactly Easy is. Easy with the sprays, but he's not moving quite yet. This blue zone is going to be very painful. A vehicle is there, but you can't get a lot of value out of it, especially when you're stuck here. As soon as you get in there and try to move, someone's going to shoot a car and you're going to be blown to smithereens.
I'm gonna say it right here. This is by far my favorite circle.
Me
Jorgo
too!
any day. All these close quarter within the container. Man, this is another layer of fun and anticipation. You just don't know who's gonna swing into it. Ichi committed suicide from the top of these whatever platforms. And now Cambodia forced to leave the maze, this metal maze that they have found refuge in, but now Rosello gets shot down by Easy, who's positioned in place. But now Easy might be the ones to stop Cambodia in their own advancement towards taking Indonesia. But Ponbit takes the nade. Satar is there waiting for the entry.
You gotta admit, if you are a team of Indonesia 1, you'll be so happy right now. Everyone else is fighting your battles for you. Rosemary, a little bit too aggressive here, but he does put in a little bit of damage to the other team. As the fire comes through, Svavel gets one and immediately goes to the pro, and Satar with a DBS does get that value. One single shot to the face is enough. Rosemary as well puts in the pain, explodes the car. A lot of damage already dealt onto the members. Indonesia versus Indonesia final. 1 versus 4, maybe a 2. They will be pushing out here, but the fact that Indonesia 2 is stuck inside will not make them the victors. Indonesia 1 taking it away. The final chicken dinner of the day.
My God, this